Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. If you can tell, I am super excited today because this is episode 10. We made it to episode 10. Oh man, y'all are the best. You guys, you blow my mind. You've been coming back for 10 episodes. I can't thank you enough, Like I always say, this is the podcast where we are exploring our identity, our authenticity, and all the messy, beautiful parts of being human together. And you guys have been with me throughout this journey. My name is Ryan Ye. And this is the Identity Crisis podcast. And speaking of being human, today we are diving deep into that feeling, the sense that what people see isn't in quote, real face. We're exploring the masks, basically. Right. Curated personas we present, and the journey towards embracing the authentic selves hidden beneath. It does feel befitting to be having this conversation on our 10th episode, as we continue to try to show up more authentically together. So, true confession, I did not believe I was going to be doing episode 10. I knew I was going to start, or maybe I was just afraid or something. I didn't know, but I did not believe this. So I am surprised that I made it this far, and I think that will be thanks to you guys for always showing up, and giving your feedbacks, and thank you very much. I'm growing. If I didn't have any proof that I have grown, this is a proof that I am growing, because 10 weeks consistently with nobody pushing me or forcing me, uh that is growth. Like, growth. For me, it is growth. Like, you probably won't understand the way I'm saying it, but it is growth. So I'm excited. So let's dive deep into the episode. I think by now we have established on this podcast that we all wear masks. We put it on differently, but we all wear masks, right? And we put on these masks for different situations, right? There is the professional face at work, and there is the fun face with your friends, and there's the strong face with your family, and so on and so on. But why? And personally, I think oftentimes it's fear, right? Could be the fear of judgment, fear of rejection, fear of vulnerability, right? So we build these personas, to protect ourselves, or to fit in, or basically just to avoid showing our flaws. And don't get me wrong, sometimes these masks are necessary, but when they become our dominant mode of being, we begin to lose touch, with our true selves. We kind of like start to believe the performance and the gap between our inner and outer selves, it widens. So um in these times where either our doubts, our insecurities, even our true passions, you know, um because we are afraid they won't be accepted, right? We're afraid they will reveal our real face, and and which is the one we think is unacceptable, right? See, social media has amplified this phenomenon. See, we now live in a world of like filters, like everybody's making sure their picture is taken on Snapchat so that their face can be well constructed with the filter, add a little bit of glow, you know, and effects to the pictures. Our social media feeds are like properly curated. They are, you know, we have these carefully constructed online personas, you know, and and then we are constantly bombarded with images of perfect everything, right? Perfect bodies, perfect lives, um, perfect careers, perfect relationships. I think I was talking in one of the episodes, I think the last episode or so, that how afraid I am of going to LinkedIn sometimes because you will just see somebody and be like, are we doing the same job? Because when you see their LinkedIn, you know, MSc, BSc, PDP, APC, everything. And you be like, oof, what am I doing with my life? Right? And this creates an illusion of perfection. And we feel pressured to conform. Um, which is why we have to we edit our photos, you know, properly before we post them. Um, we craft our captions, like we take our time to see. I have not posted it because I'm looking for the perfect caption. Um, shout out to ChatGPT and the other AI guys that are helping us craft captions, and we present a version of ourselves that is often removed from reality. See, this filtered kind of life um can have a very devastating effect or impact on our mental health. See, we compare ourselves to these unrealistic portrayals, you know, which in turn leads to feelings of inadequacy, anxiety, depression. Like there's so much depression in this generation right now. And sometimes you're wondering what is causing, you know, this depression and all that, right? But then because we have let ourselves um be fooled by all the drama we see on social media, right? And we make room for such things, for the anxiety, for the depression, you know, which is bad for our mental health. But what we forget to recognize is the fact that everybody is wearing a mask. And because we now believe, or we start to believe that, you know, everyone else is living a perfect life except us. And we begin to forget our real face. So um the face that has the wrinkles, the one with the scars, the imperfections, that um these imperfections that make us human, we begin to forget that guy because we are trying to compare it with the unrealistic things that we see on social media. So how do we break free from these masks and find our true face, right? um the first thing we need to realize that it's a journey and not a destination. um it starts from self-awareness, um becoming aware of the masks we wear and why we wear them, right? It involves challenging the stories we tell ourselves about who we should be, right? um it means embracing vulnerability and allowing ourselves to be seen, imperfections and all. um so here are some steps, right, we can take. And the first one is obviously practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself, give yourself grace, right? Acknowledge that you are human and that everyone wears masks. Okay, so just practice some self-compassion. Number two, find safe spaces. I think we can talk about this enough on this journey, right? Find safe spaces. Surround yourself with people who accept you as you are. We are going to keep talking about this and talking about this as long as we are talking about identity, right? Number three is challenge the illusion of perfection. You need to remember that social media is a highlight reel and not reality. People show you what they want you to see on social media and not what is the reality. Okay? You need to challenge the illusion of perfection. And number four would be practice authenticity in small ways. You know, um, you can start by being honest about your feelings, you know, and even if it's just with yourself, you know, just be honest about little things. Number five would be embrace your imperfections. You see, they are part of what makes you unique. So just embrace them. I wouldn't want us to, to dwell much on this. Just embrace your imperfections. You're human and they're part of who you are. So embrace them. Number six would be seek professional help. Right. Um, if past trauma has impacted your self perception or your ability to be vulnerable, see, a therapist can provide guidance. I am pro therapy. I always say to people that I am pro therapy. At this point in my life, I don't think I can afford to consistently pay a therapist, which is why I have not I've not done therapy yet. But I will do therapy when the time comes, when I can afford to do that. I've checked the prices online. At the moment I cannot afford it. when I can afford it, I am definitely going to do therapy because um I know there are certain things that I wouldn't be able to unearth by myself. I'm going to need someone to guide me through the process. So um seek professional help, right? Seek professional help. And remember, see, your real face is the one you were born with, right? It is the one with the stories etched on it, right? Um the laughter, the scars, you know, they are all attached to your real face. It's the face that reflects your true self, your authentic being. So please take care of it. Take care of your real face. Be kind to your real face. Okay? So here's some questions to reflect on this week. Um, I think about this before on the podcast, but I'm gonna ask again. What masks do you wear? And why do you wear them? Right? Being able to identify the masks and why you wear them will help you, separate the sheep from the goat. Number two, um, how has social media impacted your self perception? You know. Number three, what's one small step you can take towards greater authenticity? Remember, I will always challenge you to take a step. So ask yourself, what is that step you can take this week? Number four would be, what does your real face look like to you? And finally, number five, where can you create a safe space, to be vulnerable? I need you to go look for one. See, in short, I challenge you this week, to take one step, towards, unmasking it. So, share something authentic about yourself with someone you trust. Don't forget that. You could simply just, share it with yourself in a journal. But take that one step, this week. Oof. So as we bring the episode to an end, I want to thank you for being here today. And I want to thank you for being here for the last 10 episodes. It's truly been a privilege to share these conversations with you. I've been reflecting on our journey so far, and I'm so grateful for the community we are building. Remember, you are worthy of being seen just as you are. Your real face is beautiful, powerful, and unique, right? It's the face of your authentic self. Embrace it, right? If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear this, And as always, let's keep the conversation going. I'd love to hear your thoughts on our first 10 episodes and what you would like to hear in the future. You can connect with me on social media, Instagram at Paul Ranye, or leave a comment on the episode page. Until next time, be true to yourself, and yes to many more episodes of Unmasking Authenticity together. I love you all. See you in the next one.